Oh, this is not happening.
Anyone here?
This is not happening. This is not happening.
Aren't they supposed to be saving our asses?
Looks like there's been a change of plans.
Stop the bombing run!
It's got me!
Hang on!
What the hell?
A while ago on my channel, I made a Terraria vs Minecraft video which was received very well. Going through the comment section on that video, even to this day, there are many fans supporting both Terraria and Minecraft, but there are a lot of people, specifically on the Terraria side, that were vocal about the development aspect of making each game. In that video, I didn't touch on the dev/development process, so that's basically what this video will be. And I think we can all agree, Terraria does game dev a lot better than Minecraft does. I don't hate Minecraft, I just feel that because Terraria and Minecraft are so similar, if one game does something better, it could be easily used to compare to the other so that both games end up being great games. So make sure to leave a like, it really helps me out, subscribe if you enjoy. But without further ado, let's jump straight into what good game development looks like, starring Terraria. Released in May of 2011, Terraria was very bare bones to what we expect from the title nowadays. Simple survival with plenty of items, ways to explore, build, and create. And as the game would move forward, the updates would stay along that path, adding more ways to build, items to use, ways to make a character. The game and its developers knew what the project was. It's a video game. It's fun, enjoyable, and most importantly is expected to be that way by both the fans and the devs. One could argue that everyone is on the same page. Even to this day, when new updates come out, I never hear anyone saying, oh, that's a bad idea, they shouldn't add that, when they're talking about a Terraria update, but I do hear people saying, oh, why don't they just add something fun, this update lacks oomph, when I talk to Minecraft players. To expand on the developmental differences between Terraria and Minecraft, let's use the shark as an example. A simple creature that's used mostly as a hostile mob when inserted into video games. In Terraria, they swim in the oceans at the end of your world, and if you're not careful enough, they'll kill you. Not only that, but you can literally buy a firearm made from a shark. In today's day and age, there's a lot of talk about misrepresentations of sharks in our media, being presented as these killing machines when they really aren't, but it's a game. I don't get killed by a 32 pixel shark in Terraria and then think all sharks are some killing machine in the real world. Like I said, it's a video game. Now let's apply the same concept of adding a shark to Minecraft's development. The reason why they don't want to add the shark is because they don't want to encourage people to come up to them and kill them. They don't want people to ride them. They don't want people to ride them, and they don't want to continue the narrative of them being misunderstood, and they're also in danger.
We can't add the shark. There's two reasons why we can't add the shark. Number one, because a lot of shark are endangered, and part of the reason they're endangered is because they're misunderstood. Number two is that we don't want to encourage people to A, go up to sharks, or B, ride, or try, not necessarily ride sharks, but try to get close to sharks, or C, kill sharks in real life.
I'm sorry, but this is the same game that has turtles, which is another endangered sea animal, but not only in this case can you kill them, but you literally can step on their eggs, killing their children. And did I mention you can make baby harvesting turtle scoop farms? What are they on about? That's one of the main issues I have with the way Minecraft is managed and developed. They take themselves too seriously. They always have to be on this moral high ground that makes it so nothing ever bad can happen when they add features into their game. They did this as well with the parrot, which you could originally feed cookies, but it turned out parrots can't eat chocolate. So what did Mojang do? A, keep the feature in because it's a block game that no one equates to the actual real life world. B, just remove the feature, or C, remove the feature, go the extra mile to make parrots poisoned if you feed it to them, and make an apology. If you chose C, you'd be correct. Just because you can feed a box that vaguely resembles a bird a cookie, doesn't mean kids are all of a sudden going to start feeding parrots cookies. I feel like 99% of kids don't even have access to animals like parrots or sharks. Doesn't really make sense. And some 40-year-old definitely isn't gonna listen to what Mojang adds into their block game made from 2011. Looking back on how Terraria handles a shark, you can see that they don't take themselves seriously. Terraria and its devs aren't trying to tell you not to kill sharks because it's a video game made to be fun. It's not an infomercial. If sharks are going to be a hostile mob, then so be it. Heck, like I mentioned earlier, there's a literal shark gun. Most people who debate why Mojang doesn't want to add sharks say it's because they have an E-rated game, which isn't supposed to have any blood, and hostile mobs in Minecraft are fictional. Then if that's the case, why are they giving this morally righteous answer? Just say it's because they want to keep the game rated an E for everyone. I doubt people would care. And if they feel like it's pushing on the rating, then so be it. This loops back around to both the players and the game devs being on the same page when it comes to content being added to their games. When Terraria developers look at a feature, they don't say, I can't add this because of the real world, blah blah blah. They say, it and add the thing because it's cool. How many times do I have to say this? We're playing a damn video game at the end of the day, aren't we? Every update Terraria releases gives more and more of what the people want. More bosses, more items, more weapons, blocks, you name it. I feel like every time I get excited for a Minecraft update, that feeling dwindles just as fast as it arrived. Trial chambers are cool, but we only get 2 mobs, and one of them is a skeleton variant. Would it hurt Minecraft devs so much to add something that people have been asking for, or at the very least, something that players need? Let's compare the early development of both of these games. For a while, they were very similar. Every update that Minecraft released in its early days was a banger, just like Terraria's were. Huge parts of the game that are integral to what we call Minecraft and Terraria were added. Think of the Hell from Terraria or the Nether from Minecraft. Huge parts of those games that forever changed them. But nowadays we get a green skeleton and a glorified prison cell. I'm exaggerating, but I think you get my point. With Terraria on the other hand, they've been saying over and over that the next update will be the final update, but even though they don't revolutionize the game with each of these updates, they add major features that still find a way to mix things up to this day. It's important to note that Terraria devs are also working on a second Terraria game, but with Minecraft, it feels like they've added everything they wanted, and now they're just fleshing things out, which they've admitted to in the past, and this isn't a bad thing, but how many times are we going to update the overworld before we get an end update? That place looks like a literal wasteland. They've explained that they aren't going to add another dimension until all the current ones are in a place that they're proud of, which makes me further question why we haven't gotten said end update. 1.16 was a very appreciated update in my eyes, turning an almost dead and useless dimension into something more lively and full of wonders. 1.17 and 1.18 revamped the entire generation of the overworld. 1.19 was basically Caves and Cliffs Part 3 with cut features that were supposed to be in the previous 2, and 1.20, surely we get an end update. It's the Trails and Tales. Okay, another random content update that doesn't fit what players are actually asking for. Whatever, right? Armor trims are cool and pots, but surely 1.21 gotta be that end update everyone's yearning for, right? The unnamed update. So far, literally they have not revealed the name yet. With the way that they're moving, they don't even have to give it an actual title. Just call it yet another filler content update. And I want to acknowledge that I know they're releasing content in a much shorter bit than they usually do with this update in specific, but still, what is this update? It feels like there's barely anything in it yet. I also want to acknowledge that I know Minecraft updates are planned, and the way it works is like this. They have a bunch of ideas that they roughly form into updates. As they come up with these ideas, they plot which update comes where way ahead in advance. Even though this is the case, it doesn't explain why we haven't gotten an end update, because even 1.20 had features that were originally announced for 1.17 and 1.18. Remember archaeology? That was supposed to be in the previous 3 updates. And don't take this as me hating on Minecraft, although I kind of am, just a little bit, but I genuinely want the game to feel like something I'm proud of. Another thing I've seen recently is this disheartening sentiment towards Minecraft, like its glory days are behind it. And I don't think it's because the game is old, the main reason being I never see these types of videos about Terraria, and although the game has changed so much, it's a great change. To me, it's really the way Mojang chooses to develop Minecraft and what they deem is good. That's where the crux of the issue is. The disconnect between the devs and the players leave the community feeling like the game is dying, and the devs feeling like the community doesn't appreciate their hard work. In the Terraria vs Minecraft video I made, Terraria came out on top by a single point. And I'll admit, I could have gone on and on with a number of categories, but development was something really important when it comes to the community sentiment around each of these titles. Even though Terraria hasn't had the most popular game, it still has thousands and thousands of people playing it every day. Terraria is one of those few games in which I fully completed with more than one playthrough. And that's saying a lot for me. It took me over a decade to 100% Left 4 Dead 2, and the only other game I fully completed is Astroneer. I'll admit, I don't have all the achievements for Terraria, but getting it one day would be pretty cool. When I play Terraria, I never feel like the game has become worse in any regard. This might be hard to explain, but stick with me for a second. For example, mining early on was good, but got better with each update. So did the progression and cool weapons. Though Minecraft, a lot of features become outdated with each update. Off the top of my head, farming feels stale and a lack of progression changes. The only change Mojang has made to progression since the 1.0 release was the upgrade template, which arguably goes with the netherite armor and tools added in 1.16, which all of that is an optional step, by the way. To me, it just feels like they're super scared to touch the progression of the game because they feel like it'll mess a lot of things up, when I feel like that's what most of the player base is wanting, is a longer progression so they spend more time in the base game. Game progression can work in two ways, vertical progression or horizontal progression. Vertical progression is what most people are familiar with. For example, in Minecraft you get wood tools, upgrade to stone, upgrade to iron, change to diamond, unlock and conquer the nether, find the end portal, beat the dragon. That's the basic one step at a time progression that keeps you going up until you hit a peak. However, with horizontal progression, you can move sideways in between each step. Think of Valheim. For those of you who don't know, it's a Viking medieval survival game. However, in Valheim, you can change armor sets and weapons that are similar to the current step, but are different enough to warrant a change if the player sees fit. Terraria does this well. Think of all the different armor sets that you can choose from before and after you beat the Wall of Flesh. You don't need all the best pre-mode armor sets, but they're there if you want the change. That's a perfect example of horizontal progression, giving the player an actual physical, tangible choice in how they experience their game. And that is by far the best thing Terraria devs have nailed when it comes to developing their game. I feel rewarded, happy, eager, and most importantly, fulfilled when it comes to something I do in Terraria. This is what good game development looks like, but what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm Cookie Blitz, but you can call me Lyndon. Have a nice rest of your day.